Good morning. Good morning. It's 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day whenever you are viewing this. Some people view it on replay. Today is there is no topic. It's a Q&A. And not that I think I have all the A's, but there can be a lot of Q's out there. So we can help each other. Some of you will have A's, meaning answers, to things that I certainly don't. So shall we jump in? For those of you who are unfamiliar with the protocol, the way I learned it, and as I have practiced it for now, getting right at 9.5 years, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net. Net carbs just means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Eat fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, and limited amounts of full-fat dairy if you wish. Don't eat if you're not hungry. The hardest part. Stop eating when you're satiated, when you've had enough. Eat slowly, and that'll help with that. And enjoy the feeling of satiety. And then I added, be patient and persevere. So that's it. Now, shall we just jump in? And I appreciate all of you for showing up. And I know you talk to each other, whether or not I'm responding. I try to look at the camera because it can be disconcerting if you're looking at someone and they're looking off. But I will now turn my attention to all of you lovely attendees. So I'm just going to jump on in. Dakshungal, Cheryl, good morning from Delaware. Little Crafty Nook, good morning from the San Fran Bay Area. And Betty Lookabaugh, good morning from Ohio. Sharon Kuhn, good morning from Topeka, Kansas. And Judy Dullage, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Canucks in the house. Our weekly video Bible study. Yes, can see and hear you. Thank you, Scott. And thank you for the hearts, by the way. I know it seems like a really silly thing. But a few weeks ago, YouTube allowed the thing that you could do on Facebook and other things and do little hearts. Thank you. I don't know who's doing them. I can't tell, but it makes me feel good. So thank you. It's such a lovely thing to do. Misty's House of Tarot Cards. Good morning, Casey. Everyone from Long Island, New York. Tina in real life. Good morning. Listening while I work this morning. Thank you. And our weekly video Bible study, he gave me a purple heart. Melissa Sharber. Good morning from Ocracoke, which is the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful. North Carolina is blessed with lots of things, and the Outer Banks is one of them. It's a little strip of land that runs almost the entire height of the state, banks out into the Atlantic Ocean. And so parts of the Outer Banks, when you're driving on the one highway, is you can see the ocean and you can see the sound. It's pretty cool. Maria E. Baez, good morning from New Jersey. Okay, does anyone have any questions or doesn't have to be a question. Give me a comment, an observation, a complaint, feedback, victory that you've recently enjoyed, a challenge that you have been experiencing. Jane Castillo, good morning from Loveland, Colorado. Thank you for everything you do. It keeps me motivated and encouraged. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, let me see. I've got a little heart lingering. Can I do this? Oh, I see where it is. So let me see. I can go B. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know I could do that. So a little, and then there was a heart and a thing. Coolio. Thanks for the smiley faces and the hearts. I don't know how it is. Everything's different on different devices. I'm on my MacBook Pro. And so it might be different on an iPad or a tablet or an iPhone or a Android. Lily Gordon, what has been your experience with the face mask you tried? Okay, I really like it. I need to do a follow-up. If I wasn't so lazy, I would be really, really productive because I have a lot of ideas. And then I get distracted. So for those of you who don't know, I made one video about it. And if you Google on my YouTube channel. It's Aduro, Aduro. It's light therapy mask that I didn't buy it. It was sent to me and they kind of, please do this and do a review. I said, I'm only going to do a review if I like it. I'm not going to say anything bad. I just won't say anything if I don't like it. I haven't not said anything because I don't like it. I'm just lazy and busy. Okay, so you put this mask on and it looks pretty weird. I mean, it looks like it's very, which was the horror? Was it Halloween where the Mike Myers wore the mask? The character Mike Myers, not the actor. And you have different levels of light therapy. And I don't know that it's making a difference. I was hopeful that it might fade a sunspot I have over here, but I don't know that it has. But it feels good. And I swear my skin feels smoother and fuller, but in a good way. And it's a pleasant experience. You wear it for 20 minutes, 2, 3 times a week. And when you're done, it's just, I don't know, it's something soothing about it. So I like it. So I do need to do a follow-up. And also, I think if you go to my video and there's a link there, and if you go through it, you get some kind of free gifts or something. It's not an inexpensive device, but I do like it. It may or may not be making any difference, but it does feel good. I mean, from the inside out, it feels good. And I told my husband, I think my skin is smoother. He said, babe, your skin has always been smooth. He no dummy. Judy Dulledge, my 1-year anniversary on keto today. Down 55.8 pounds and feeling great. Now I do have to do a little thing. That is fantastic. Yay! 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 Celebration. Fantastic. That is so good. Isn't it? It's amazing, isn't it? Now, Judy, I don't know anything about your history, your story. I don't know your stage of life, what your starting point was. But if you're like me, I spent literally decades just wishing I could lose some weight. Oh, please, every January 1st, please just let me lose. First, it was let me lose my my age in pounds. So whatever age I was, just let me lose that much. That was, not such a humongous task when I was in my early 30s, but it never happened. And then I got to be my 40s, and that was going to be a thing. And then I just said, let me lose 10 pounds this year, just 10 pounds. And now, mind you, I'm 115 and a half pounds lower than my starting weight or my heaviest weight. I don't know what my actual heaviest, but the heaviest that I know of. So 10 pounds should have been nothing. But aren't you astounded, Judy? If you were like me, it's like, I thought this was beyond the beyonds. Daisy Love writes, congratulations, Judy and Victoria Rosalba. Victoria, how are you, child? Hello, I have been astray quite some time. Victoria, I lost my mom on Tuesday, and the light bulb went on, and I realized that the so-called comfort food doesn't comfort anything. Back on track to health. Victoria, I'm so sorry. And I know you've been the caregiver for your parents, and I am sorry. So, thoughts for you. Good thoughts for you. Hugs going to you. And, we do say the comfort food, but it doesn't, someone was saying long ago, I was doing great. And then my mom passed. And so I just started eating all the food. And, to be blunt, I wasn't trying to be blunt or unkind, but we do that. We all do that. Well, we have done it. I did it many times, many at bats for me, not for the strict keto, but for low carb. And I would find a reason that I just, needed to give myself a break. And heartbreak and loss is big. But the point was, and I gently, I hope, pointed out to this woman that, so you ate all the food and your mom's still gone. So, but that's a hard thing when we can stop telling ourselves it's comfort food. It's torture food sometimes, but we've all been there. Rose Haygood says hello to Jack. Oh, there's Jack enjoying the good life. Misty's House of Tarot Cards. Congratulations, Judy. And Joanne, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Misty's House of Tarot Cards. So sorry for your loss, Victoria. And Victoria is a gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful person. I had the privilege of being able to chat with her online, video stuff, and beautiful person inside and out. Jackie Starling, good morning from Bend, Oregon. That is supposed to be a fantastic place. Judy Tucker, so sorry for your loss, Victoria. Judy Tucker herself has lost 150 pounds. Now, Judy, if you don't share if you don't want to, but so you've been doing this for what, over 5 years, 150 pounds. Can you say whether an event happened in those 5 years? It almost certainly has. That prior to the ketogenic protocol would have knocked you off track and sent you on an eating binge. Frankie A, sympathies to you, Victoria, and your family. Maria Baez, my biggest challenge is being on dialysis, but I'm still trying to do keto, although I'm told that a plant-based diet is best. But 6 years ago, before cancer, doing keto, I lost 56 pounds and kept them off. Well, I'm sorry for your situation, Maria. And obviously, you need to make your decision about whether the medical advice makes sense to you. I can tell you that one of our Patreon group had kidney cancer, had to have a kidney removed. She had just started the protocol about a year and a half earlier and had some weight loss. And then, of course, was asked her doctor, I've been doing keto. Did I cause this? I said, no. He said, no, actually, it might have slowed it up. You keep doing what you're doing. You follow the protocol. So, do some good research on that. Victoria writes, thank you for all your kind and caring words. And Suzanne Smith writes, is it possible to be losing weight, but the scales don't show it? Yes, absolutely. Losing inches without losing ounces is a thing. So technically you're not losing weight, but you can be losing inches. And this is a well-established phenomenon that I don't think any medical person says it, but it's the whoosh. So losing inches without losing ounces can happen because our cells that were previously filled up with fat and other things, nature abhors a vacuum, and so those cells will kind of take in water as a place setter. Or let's just wait. Maybe Casey will go back to her old ways and we'll fill up with fat again. But and this is a very, non-scientific and simplistic and cartoonish way to describe this. But the cells have been, relieved of their fat and now filled back up with water. But fat is denser than, let me get this right. The fat is gone. The water weighs the same as the fat, but takes up less space. Does that make sense? It's like a pound. People say, oh, you're putting on muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. No, a pound of muscle and a pound of fat are a pound, but one takes up less space. So a pound of lead takes up less space than a pound of marshmallows. It's the same thing. So stick in there. Yes. Maria writes, I still need to lose 45 pounds. I also need a kidney transplant. Bless. Prayers to you, girl. Victoria Rosalva. Suzanne, absolutely. Your body can heal and you can get smaller and stronger without the scale moving. Thank you. Victoria, a little crafty nook. Yes, Suzanne, you can check your measurements and it shows you're burning fat. Suzanne Smith, that's encouraging because I'm not eating anything I shouldn't. And prayer emojis are going up. Maria is saying thanks for the prayers. A little crafty nook on, oh my, Maria, best wishes for healing. Kathy Crawford, keto for 1 year, lost 60 pounds. Let me move my thing. It's getting, lost 60 pounds, put type 2 diabetes in remission. Enjoy learning from you. A friend bought a keto plate of foods so I could eat it, but now I can't snack and then eat lunch. She was put off. Well, she'll get over it. But if you're not hungry, you're not hungry, right? Thank you for the gesture. And I can maybe put this away for later. But that was kind of her to bring keto-friendly foods. Little crafty nook. Unfortunately, they don't disappear entirely. The fat cells, you mean? Yeah. That's what we've been told. The cells are there lingering, even they're like deflated balloons, waiting to refill. Little crafty nook. Density, yes. Prayers for you, Maria, writes Victoria, and little crafty nook. Yay, Kathy. Judy Tucker writes, this is our friend Judy from Hopkinton, Iowa, who lost 150 pounds. Judy Tucker writes, yes, 20 years ago, my husband got cancer and I ate and ate and ate, and I had to run our farm by myself. If that had happened today, I would never turn to food for comfort now. And let's not talk that into existence, but you're stronger. You've made it through that. So you're stronger than a cookie. A little crafty nook fat, yes. Tina in real life. I'm down 80 pounds. I eat almost carnivore most days. I did eat a piece of cake at my son's graduation party last weekend, not worth the joint pain that followed. I'll take a birthday steak instead. Thank you for sharing that, Tina, in real life. And I hear this a lot. It's almost instantaneous. You have joint pain, it is resolved when you start burning fat for fuel. You eat a carb-laden whatever, and in your case, a piece of cake or a basket of pretzels, and the joint pain comes back almost immediately. I've heard from others who have asthma. Once they start burning fat for fuel, they don't need to use their emergency inhalers. One carby thing, need the emergency inhaler. So good for you for listening to your body. And yes, birthday steak. Little crafty nook. Yes, go, Judy. I wish I could help my friend and her sister see that. And we can't help anybody do anything other than if they pick up on by example. If, when someone's ready to hear the message, they will. And sometimes they never are. And that's not just with food. We all can think of either friends or friends of friends or relatives who are on oxygen for emphysema or COPD, and they take the cannula out so they can smoke up. Or people who are on insulin and have lost a foot already, but they're not going to change. So when the person is ready to hear a message or make a change, and that's what happened to me. For those of you who don't know, I had given up on losing weight. I was overweight, obese, morbidly obese for 30 years, from my mid-20s to my mid-50s. I had tried all the stuff. You can go to my blog, link below, and see some photos of the summer of triathlon when I was trying to move more, eat less, and hauling all that extra weight around. I don't know how I did it. I can tell you I was sore all the time, and I was hungry all the time. But I'd given up. So I knew my next doctor's visit, there was going to have to be a conversation about type 2 diabetes. I just knew it. Everyone in my family had sugar issues, and I was next. So I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes, because although I've been diagnosed and treated for cancer 3 times in my life, ever since I was the first one, I was pregnant with our 3rd child. That was dramatic. All the way through a couple more occurrences of different cancers. I could somehow justify that I might die of cancer, but I did not want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. How to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Came across the famous white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman, who is now, I'm proud to say, a pal. And the message was, keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. And if it's on page 4, don't eat it. And only eat when you're hungry. And there was something, I was ready to hear that message. I knew low carb worked for me. I knew it in 1977 when I did the induction of the Atkins Diet Revolution. I was in college. I wanted to lose like 12 or 13 pounds that I put on over the course of 3 semesters. Did the induction, lost the weight, threw the book away. I knew it again in the early 2000s. Gave it another go. Lost about 30 pounds. Second of 3 cancer diagnoses. Ticked me off. And I decided to eat a bagel at the office. And that was that. And guess what? I still had cancer, even though I ate the comfort food. So, anywho, guess what? Bagels don't cure cancer. Neither does tequila. So, what was I going to say? I can't remember. Totally lost my train of thought. Squirrel. Um. Oh, that's right. I was ready to hear the message about not taking insulin for type 2 diabetes, and the messenger was the correct messenger for me. And so I did it, and I have not looked back. I didn't waver, because my motivation was not, "Let's lose weight," or let's get look cuter in clothes." It was, "Don't take insulin for type 2 diabetes." Victoria Orsada, "How wonderful, Kathy, for your success. Some people think they mean well when they offer food. As Casey says, no one gets a vote on what we eat, and nor do we get a vote on what anyone else eats, right?" Judy Tucker writes, "I'd turn to listening to my wonderful friend Casey and her morning snippets." Thank you. Oh, that having been said, you do not have to buy one thing to be 100% successful at this. Not one. Just eat whole foods and don't eat if you're not hungry. I will sell you water bottles and mugs, and there's a link to stuff below this video. I'm wearing a flowy tank that says GKWC, Go Keto with Casey, teddy bears, like I said, and stickers, and if you go to my blog and you can see this green book, it's a 12-month record book that I put together a couple of years ago, and you can get it on Amazon. Thank you very much. And I have a private support group on Patreon. Judy Tucker, some other people are here, where depending on your pledge level, you get 20 pre-recorded morning video snippets from me every weekday. Topics usually suggested by patrons. Going up from there, handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only video group sessions on Zoom, and going up from there, monthly one-on-one with me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And those morning snippets, sometimes I look a sight. I look like the crypt keeper some mornings. Little Crafty Nook writes, "Yep, my aunt was like that. I assume the cannula and the smoking." Judy Dullage, "Yes, we all get a wake-up call at some point. Yeah, hopefully it's, we listen." Doris, good morning, friends. Little Crafty Nook, "We're so glad you did, Casey. Look at you now, helping the rest of us." Thank you very much. Judy Tucker, "You and Dr. Westman still doing the support group on Crowdcast?" Actually, we didn't do one in June, this past week, because he was unavailable. The next one would fall on the 4th of July, so he said, "Let's take a pass." And he may not do them again. He may re-up the in-person sessions in Durham. So, and I don't know that will attend those. So he might just take it and run. He he might just say, "Thank you, I've got it from here, Casey." But he might change his mind as well. Little Crafty Nook, "Some people still don't listen, Judy D, but yes." And Doc Shungal, "Have you heard from Dr. Westman about the cruise?" We had a little email exchange. He always enjoys himself wherever he goes. He makes a point of enjoying himself, so I'm sure he's enjoyed himself. Jackie Starling writes, "Love having coffee with Casey and watching snippets." Thank you. So it's, for those of you who don't know, first thing in the morning, before I let the chickens out of the chicken yard, I come down and usually my husband is preparing coffee for me. I set things up. I look at, I put on the camera, and I have pillow hair and no makeup, or sometimes yesterday's makeup, and you can hear Jack walking around the place. And it's about, depending, it's going to be 8 minutes to 18 to 20-minute long snippets. And then I post them for patrons. They get to see it. So that's what that's all about. And I mean, I think I've made 1,420 of them. So lots and lots. Does anyone have a question? I love hearing the stories and the stuff, but does anyone have it can be anything about from cholesterol to how much protein should we get, and lots of these answers are doesn't matter. Well, not doesn't matter, but it's not because, listen to the protocol again, as I learned it. 20 grams of carbohydrate total per day, total carbs. If it's not on page 4, don't eat it, but frankly, if you're keeping your carbs under 20, you're pretty much following page 4 because it's very difficult to keep your carbs to 20 if you're eating food, to fewer than 20 grams of carbohydrate because an apple has 20 grams of carbohydrate. So you eat 1 apple, you've but anyway, it's not on page 4, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you've had enough. Nowhere in there does it say anything about, but make sure you get X number of protein, X number of fat, X number of glasses of water. Don't eat during certain times of the day. Find what works for you. Nancy Nerney writes, I was diagnosed with reactive hypoglycemia. The only solution is not to eat carbohydrates. There we go. So if you want to describe what or explain what reactive hypoglycemia is, it's a big drop in blood sugar. Judy Tucker, I watched Dr. Westman YouTube on the sweetener scare. What is your take on this? I don't worry about sweeteners. Was it the xylitol or erythritol? It was just a bad study, and it cherry picked. I think that's the one you might be talking about. We use Splenda, and people think that we're crazy. We used non-sugar sweetener. We tried other sweeteners, non-sugar sweeteners, and my husband and I just didn't like any of them. They had either an aftertaste or something. Sounds like a keto protocol to me. Frankie A, do you take any supplements? We both take slow release magnesium chloride, 364 milligram pills every morning to stave off leg cramps. But magnesium deficiency is actually quite common, whether you're plant-based or not, or keto. And we take a teaspoon of cod liver oil. It's supposed to be quite good for you. But no, we don't take multivitamins. I don't take vitamin C or D or E or any of that stuff. I don't do that. Doris Komisarek writes, Casey snippets are my daily reminder to myself that I can do it. Keto the best way for my health and feels wonderful to eat this way. Yay, little crafty nook. Question, yes, I have heard a gram of protein per pound per body weight. What is it? Thanks. It's a really wide range because here's the formula, pretty much. It's 1.5 grams to 2.5 grams, 1.5 to 2.5 grams, more or less, of protein per kilogram of reference weight. First of all, reference weight means what your lean mass is, not your body weight, but your reference mass, what you would weigh if you weren't overweight, what your body weighs without the fat. Difficult to figure that out sometimes. But even if you could, that's a big range. 1.5 grams to 2.5 grams. That's that's a 50% variable. And it also depends on your body composition, your stage of life, your sex, your activity, your body chemistry. Protein is pretty stable if you just eat to it. Eat fat, eat the fat that comes with the protein. And stop eating when you've had enough. Both protein and fat are quite satiating. But I have no idea how many grams of protein I eat a day. I could look it up because I know what I eat, but I don't worry about it. Excuse me. Inc. VR23. Can an 11-year-old obese child eat like this? Absolutely. Let's think about this. Do we really think that anyone, child, adult, retiree, needs chips and pretzels and ice cream and French fries and Twinkies and M&Ms? No. No, and absolutely, it's a very nutritious way to eat. I don't live in regret. I don't spend much time thinking, "Oh, wow. Oh, boy. But if I knew what if I knew what I knew then, if I knew then what I know now, we would have been a ketogenic family from the jump. While I was pregnant, after listen, newborns, babies, if you're nursing them, they're born in ketosis. And mother's milk is ketogenic essentially. So, do we think children need Snickers bars? No, absolutely. It's essentially meat, eggs, vegetables, poultry, seafood. It's food. Little Crafty Nook writes, I'm sure my 11-year-old granddaughter is overweight as well, Inc. Her mom doesn't cook at all and relies on fast food. And it's a lot of people do that. Sally Doran, how often do you go to the bathroom? As often as I need to. It's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't know. It's not, I haven't calculated it. Everything's running properly if that helps. Teen in real life. Labs 531, total cholesterol 280, LDL 174, HDL 88, triglycerides 104. I know we will have the statin talk next visit. Vitamin D level improved with diet only. Also outdoor walks, fasting, glucose 78, A1C is 5.2. Sounds golden to me. LDL irrelevant. And that triglyceride to HDL ratio is not terrible. I mean, a 1.5 ratio. So your HDL is 88. Half of that would be 44. 88 plus 44. You're under the 1 to 1.5 ratio. So it'll probably improve, depending on how long you've been doing this. Bless for, as we get older, is it a good idea to take collagen? I don't know about that. It's one of those, they can say anything they want. I don't know. I don't take collagen. Some people may, and they swear by it. My face, for better or for worse, is my face. The light mask notwithstanding. And again, I don't know that it has made any difference in how I look. I just know that it feels good from the inside. It's kind of calming and warming. Sharon Kuhn, I'm 72. I am 90% ketovore. I am fat adapted and do not really get hungry. Am slowing my metabolism by getting under 1,200 calories. I average 800 calories. Is this dangerous? Gee, I hope not, because that's about what I'm doing. My calories will range anywhere from 650 to 1,100, depending on the day. No, and our metabolism is going to slow as we age anyway. Our metabolism will slow as we lose weight. But that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's becoming more efficient. We can get by on less fuel. Don't we wish our cars' metabolisms could slow down so that we could get further on less fuel? Congratulations, by the way. Judy Dulwich. Keto on, everyone. The best health to you all. Sounds like Judy's getting ready to jump off. Little Crafty Nook, yes. Little Crafty Nook, yes to the Born Keto Not Needing Junk Food, Inc., VR23. Thank you so much for answering my question about obese children. I've asked the same question to another keto pro, and he said he couldn't answer that. Why? There was a big controversy when Professor Tim Noakes in South Africa tweeted, somebody asked a question about their child and said, oh, yeah, absolutely, you can follow that. They actually put him on trial. I don't know why. If the person said they couldn't answer it because they didn't know the answer, or they couldn't answer it because they were afraid of getting arrested, too much drama. Little Crafty Nook. Ugh, my husband's doctor insisted on him taking statin because of mysterious diagnosis of atherosclerosis on his chart. Statins are very profitable. And a Little Crafty Nook, that's amazing. Okay, guys, I try to keep these under 30 minutes. I don't always. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. Thank you for subscribing and the thumbs up and the hearts. And certainly thank you to my patrons. I am privileged, and you have added to my life. Thanks a lot, and I will see you next time. God willing, and the creek don't rise.